Hello everybody and welcome to my preview of the new war quest. Now I'm sorry if the audio is a little bit all over the place today, but I unfortunately need to cut every few seconds to cough my lungs out, so you know, it is what it is. Also, this video is not sponsored by DE or anyone else. I was just invited alongside many other Warframe content creators to a press event last week where they showed us a little bit of the new war and talked us through it. We weren't shown too much in terms of story, it was just little snippets here and there, and I will try to avoid those as much as possible so I don't spoil it for you. So as many of you probably already know, the new war is coming out on December 15th. And it is gonna be one hell of an update, okay? It is pretty big. The quest itself is huge, it's actually split into 3 different acts. And it's about 4 to 6 hours long. That's of course if you're not speedrunning it, which I would not recommend. You will need to finish pretty much the entire story of Warframe before you can jump into it though, so make sure you finish the War's Prize, Once Awake, the Archwing, Stolen Dreams, The New Strange, Nata, The Second Dream, The War Within, Chains of Harrow, Apostasy Prologue, The Sacrifice, Chimera Prologue, Rising Tide, and finally Era. I would also highly recommend you get yourself some decent gear, and I'm not just talking about a Warframe and a weapon. I would also highly recommend you get at least a decent build on your Railjack as well as your Necramech, and give your operator a decent amp too. Because the new war doesn't have any matchmaking, it is entirely solo, so if your plan was to just have someone else host you a good Railjack, it's not gonna work. And as far as your operator and your Necramech goes, well, you're gonna be fighting the Sentients and they have Orphics which can shut down your frame, and if they do that and both your Necramech and your operator are a bit crap, you're not gonna have a good time. Unless you're going to be playing as Sentient, I suppose, because as we already knew from some of the previews that the developers did, we're not just going to experience the war with our own eyes, we're also going to experience it through the eyes of the Grenier by controlling Khal, a Grenier soldier, the Corpus by controlling Veso, a Corpus engineer, and finally Teshin by playing as Teshin. And now these are actually woven into the gameplay. It's not just like Act 1 is the Grenier, Act 2 is the Corpus, and Act 3 is Teshin. No. The example that we were shown during the press event, and I'm gonna be somewhat vague here, is you're doing a Railjack mission with your Warframe on your Railjack, but towards the end of the Railjack mission, you will load Teshin into the slingshot and catapult him onto a ship, where you will take control of him. Now, the new war quest isn't the only thing that we're getting with this update. We're also getting a new Warframe, Caliban, who I'm very excited to try out because he's a bit of a summoner and I like those very much. And they're also launching new Prime Access, which is going to be Harrow Prime with Scourge and Nell Prime. Now, Caliban's abilities are pretty interesting, or at least I think so. His passive seems to be very strong. It's essentially adaptation, but for everyone in the affinity sharing range, which is great. And his actual abilities are Razor Gyre, where he becomes a spinning vortex of death. I like that description very much. Sentient Wrath, where he smashes the ground, sending out a wave of destruction and lifting enemies up into the air. Then there is Lethal Progeny. This is my personal favorite, because this allows him to summon up to 3 Conquelists to fight by his side and fix shields when they're not fighting. And finally there's Fusion Strike, which is a big slice and dice followed by a bit of a kaboom. So yeah, we're gonna have loads of stuff to do this time around over Christmas, because we're getting a massive quest, a new primed frame, a new normal frame, and the primed resurgence is gonna be happening at the same time as well. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about the new war. I personally am not a big fan of spoiling things. I hate having things spoiled, so I try to avoid spoiling things for you guys as well. So yeah, get ready for a big update on the 15th of December. Now, we also did a Q&A at the end of this event with Rebecca, so let's quickly go over some of the stuff that I found the most interesting personally. So the new war is not gonna introduce any new quote-unquote planets or open worlds, though it is going to scar the world. Caliban is definitely a Beyblade, and I would like to be quoted on this, Rebecca Ford. And you don't need the paracesis, though I would of course highly recommend it since it's one of the best sentient blenders in the game. I would also like to say that there were some unexpected things. I don't want to be more specific, but it's not just all about them shooty bang bangs. It looks pretty interesting, and I'm still just as excited as I was for it before the preview event. Maybe even more. And finally, let's have a quick look-see at the Harrow Prime Access stuff. So this time around, the cosmetics or the accessories are gonna be a very nice looking Ziandana as well as a full operator suit. But anyway, that's it for the video. So I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.